بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. My dear students, this is lecture 7. It is entitled Compound Words. Actually, after dealing with the first type of complex words, which include words made up of a stem and affix, now it's time to talk about compound words. So, what is a compound word? A compound word is two or more words that are combined together to make a new word, and each one of these words can stand independently as an English word. So now we are not talking about stems and affixes, we talk about independent words. Now, a question might be raised here: how to write a compound word? Actually, we have more than one way. We can write them as one word together, or we can write them as words separated by a hyphen, like this one, hyphen ter, or words separated only by a space, Okay, these are the three different ways of writing a compound word. Now, the most important question here is, where do we normally put the stress? Do we put it on the first word or the second word of the compound? First, we need to divide compound words based on their constituents. I mean, the grammatical category of the words the compound word includes. Now, the most frequent type of compounds is compounds that include two nouns, a noun plus a noun. In this case, the stress is always on the first word, like sunrise. You can see that the stress is on the word sun, that is the first word of the compound. As I said, most compounds in English are stressed on the first word. However, there are compounds which are stressed on the second, and the first word will only take the secondary stress. Now let's look at some examples on some cases. If the compound is an adjectival and the second word ends with ed, morpheme, what will happen? The stress is going to be on the second element, like bad-tempered. This is an adjective, and here we have the ed morpheme at the end of the compound. Hence, the second part is stressed. A compound with a number as its first element is also stressed on its second part, like three-wheeler. 3 is a number, and the second part is stressed. Compounds functioning as adverbs, like downstream. Down is an adverb. Again, the second part of the compound is often stressed. Another type, compounds functioning as verbs and have an adverb as their first element. In this case, again, the stress is going to be on the second word, like backpedal. Now, we have a question. Is stress fixed or changing in English? Stress may change for two reasons. The first one, because of stress on other words surrounding the word in question. That is, the stress on a word may be changed due to the stress of neighboring words. Another reason is because not all speakers agree on the place of stress on some words. We're not going to talk about this, but we will give an example on the first reason. If we take the word bad-tempered as an example, in which it is an adjectival, the first part of it is an adjective, and the second part ends with ed, that's why it's normally stressed on the second part. Now, if we add another word, which is teacher, and the compound becomes bad-tempered teacher. Teacher starts with a strong syllable, and in this case, the position of the stress is going to be changed. It's no longer on the word tempered, it goes back, as we can see here. This is the original case. Now after we add teacher, the word teacher is going to take the primary stress, and the stress on tempered will move backward to be on bad, but it's going to be secondary, not primary anymore. Okay, so here we can see an example of that supports the idea that stress is not fixed, stress is changing. Now another topic is word claspers. What are word claspers? Actually, we have some pairs of words in English, actually dozens of words, which consist of a prefix plus a stem, and these words may change its meaning and its part of speech, the grammatical category, due to the change in the position of stress. So if the stress is on the first part, it means something, and the grammatical category of it is something. When the stress is changed on the second part, the meaning is going to change and the grammatical category of the word is changed. Here we have a rule. If the stress is on the first part of the word, it is a noun or an adjective. Yet, if the stress is on the second part, it is often a verb. Here we have an example, the word abstract. This word can be pronounced in two different ways. If we put stress on the first syllable, it is an adjective, abstract. But if we put it on the second part of the word, it's going to be abstract, which is a verb. Here comes a question actually. Is stress phonemic in this case, or in the case of word claspers? I want my students to think of this question and look for the meaning of phonemic. What do you mean by phonemic? And can stress be phonemic in certain cases? For the list of word claspers, you can refer to page 87. Here are more examples on words that can change its meaning and change its grammatical category when the position of stress is changed. Contract and contract. Contract is a noun with its first part stressed, and contract is a verb with its second part stressed. You can have a look at the whole list. Thank you very much, and see you again.